I hit 75 million in revenue, but instead of celebrating, I just stared at the number and thought about the 25 million in ad spend over the last 4 years that I spent. And the strange part is, none of that ad spend is actually what got us to 8 figures. Look, the 25 million taught me something critical. It taught me that marketing and sales will get you to 7 figures, but they won't get you to 8 figures. If I could sit down with myself years ago, when we were stuck at 7 figures, barely profitable, working 80-hour weeks, trying to scale, I wouldn't tell him to spend more on ads or hire better salespeople or optimize the funnel copy. I would tell him something completely different that goes against everything taught in info business circles. And if you miss this one thing, you will stay in this trap where you have customers coming in and customers leaving at the same pace, creating a glass ceiling for you, and you wonder why your business is never growing. When you're building an info business, the logic seems bulletproof. You need customers, so you invest in marketing. And more eyeballs equals more sales. You need conversions, so you optimize your funnel, better copy, stronger offer, and then higher close rates. Because you need revenue, you scale what's working. More ad spend, more traffic, bigger launches. Every mentor out there teaches this. Everyone is focused on marketing and sales. Every case study proves it, and it works. You go from 0 to 6 figures following this exact playbook, and it feels like you cracked the code. But then you push to 7 figures, and it still works. Something shifts. You're spending more to acquire each customer. Your team is growing faster than you planned, and profit margins are getting squeezed harder than you expected. But you keep pushing because the narrative makes total sense. You scale the acquisition machine, you bring more customers in, and that scales the business. So you do exactly what you're supposed to do. You double the budget, you hire more salespeople, you build more funnels, and you launch more products. You're executing perfectly. But then you hit a wall that doesn't make any sense. Revenue all of a sudden doesn't go up anymore, and your life just becomes a hamster wheel. You bring in 100 new customers this month, but 95 from last month just churned and left. What you have is a leaky bucket. You're pouring water in as fast as you can, watching your levels still stay roughly the same, because you're not paying attention to everything pouring out of the bucket at the bottom at the same rate. The bucket never fills because you're focused on the top while ignoring the bottom. Every Monday morning, you're essentially starting over. You need new customers to replace the ones who left. Your sales team needs fresh leads. Your marketing needs more traffic. The machine never stops, because if it does, revenue drops immediately. Congratulations, you successfully created a hamster wheel. You can't slow down to fix anything, because stopping acquisition for even 1 month means the business just dies. And this was us 3 years ago. And I see this exact pattern every week with the 10,000 plus info business owners that we work with. They hit 6 or 7 figures, and then they hit the glass ceiling. Not because they can't acquire more customers, but because they can't keep them long enough for the business to actually compound. When you build purely on acquisition, you're fighting math that you just can't win. Let me draw this out with real numbers. Okay, so this is time. This is dollars. So here's how your business grows, right? Goes up, down, this, up. Then here, all of a sudden, the glass ceiling. And then at some point, this happens. And you have this. These 3 sections. This one is awesome. Everything is going great. This one is, we're not growing anymore. This one is bloop death. The interesting thing here is customers that you bring in and the churn, people leaving because you don't ascend them, they don't reorder, or if you have a subscription business, they just churn. At a certain scale, the amount of people that you bring in equal the amount of people that leave, and that's your glass ceiling. And let me show you how this looks like. If this is time, right? Let's say you have here months. Just like for simplicity reason, do it like this. Then this is called cohorts. Let's say you do this. So that means these customers here from this month, they churn out. And then here in month 3, you don't have them anymore. In month 3, let's say 1, 2, 3. The people that you brought in a quarter ago, they're all gone, and you have to bring in new people. In the beginning, this works because you bring more people in than the people that are leaving, right? But then at some point, it just can't grow anymore. And then at some point, customer acquisition costs get so expensive that you bring in less people and you have the same amount of people leaving, and then your business is shrinking. Then it dies off. So with that, it's impossible to grow like here. It's impossible to grow this if you have customers leaving, if they don't reorder, if you don't send them. That's why delivery is so important. If they don't stay, retain, expand, refer, you will face that glass ceiling guaranteed. If you fix your delivery problem, you will fix your acquisition problem. Month 1, you spend $50,000 on ads. You bring in 100 new customers at $500 each. So you made $50,000 in revenue. You broke even on ad spend, but 80 of those 100 customers churn within the next 90 days. They didn't finish your course. They didn't get the results, so they disappear. You spent another $50,000 to bring in another 100 customers, but you're really just replacing the 80 who left and adding 20 new ones. Month 3, same pattern. Spend 50,000, acquire 100, lose 80, keep 20. After 12 months, you've spent $600,000 in ad spend to have maybe 240 active customers. And every single month, you're back at zero, needing more traffic just to maintain. Now, compare that to how real wealth-building businesses work. Think about Apple. You don't just buy one iPhone and then disappear. You buy a new one every 2 years, like clockwork. They know with near certainty that if I bought an iPhone last year, I'll buy another one in 2 years. That's not recurring revenue in a subscription sense, but it's recurring customers. They compound because they know you're coming back. Same for your MacBook. Picture it like stairs. Every customer Apple gets up one step and stays there. The next customer climbs up and adds to it. The stairway keeps building higher. Every customer climbs one step and then falls back down. So you're constantly rebuilding the first step instead of building the staircase higher. Or look at Slack's retention curve. They sold for $28 billion. Why? Because their retention was exponential. Every customer who came in today would pay them more money tomorrow and even more money the day after that, and it kept compounding month after month. Look at this chart and compare these cohorts with your business's cohorts. That's a money printing machine because each new customer doesn't replace an old one, they add to what you already built. But in most info businesses, we are taught to do the opposite. Sell a course for $2,000. Customers buy it. Customers leave 3 months later because the course is finished or they didn't get the value from it. And then you sell to the next person, and that repeats forever. But the businesses that scale past 7 figures into 8 figures and 9 figures, they aren't optimizing for acquisition anymore. They're optimizing for one important thing: retention. When customers stay, your revenue doesn't reset to zero every month, and marketing gets optional. Your revenue stacks on top of what you already built. Think about it like compound interest in a bank account. If you deposit $1,000 every month, but you withdraw $950 every month, you barely grow. But if you deposit $1,000 and only withdraw $100, the account compounds fast. When customers stay, your marketing gets easier because happy customers refer their friends and you get more testimonials. So it's a flywheel that compounds from time to time even more. Your lifetime value goes up, which means you can afford to pay more to acquire customers than your competitors. You win the bidding war for traffic without destroying your margins. And that's the shift that took us from 7 to 8 figures. And it came down to 3 specific things. First, we had to deliver results at a level where customers would succeed every single time. Second, we had to figure out how to scale that delivery without hiring an army of people. And third, we had to build that scaled delivery into our offer so it improved both conversions and retention at the same time. Let me break down each one exactly how we did it. Step 1, white glove delivery. Step 1 is delivering results at a level where customers actually succeed. And this is the foundation everything builds on. If you personally focus all your attention on one customer, give them everything they needed exactly when they needed it, they would succeed. But you can't do this for 100 customers. The math doesn't work. If you tried it, you would be on calls 80 hours a week and still fall behind. So info business owners try to scale in 1 or 2 ways, and both break. First way, they remove the personal touch entirely. They record everything into a course, hope students figure it out themselves, or they add a community, hoping that the community figures it out. Maybe they add some Q&A calls, group calls. Completion rates drop to 15% or even lower. Success rates drop even lower. Customers churn, you're back in a hamster wheel. Second way, you hire coaches to deliver that personal touch. So now you're paying $4,000 to $6,000, maybe $2,000 per month per coach, training them for weeks, managing their workload, dealing with inconsistent quality, because every coach delivers your framework slightly differently, and watching them either burn out or that they're just not good enough, or they leave to start their own competing business because they're really good using everything you taught them. And this is the trap. You need high-touch delivery to create retention, but high-touch doesn't scale without destroying your margin. Picture it like this. You need to be in 100 places at once, but you can only be in one place at a time. Hiring 100 coaches means managing 100 people, and now you're running an HR company instead of an info business. Step 2 is scaling that high-touch delivery, and this is where AI makes sense in a way that actually matters for your business. Because what makes high-touch delivery work isn't just having information available in a course somewhere, it's having personalized guidance exactly when someone gets stuck in that specific moment to deliver results for them. Think about what happens when a customer hits a roadblock at 11 p.m. on a Tuesday. They have this big question. They're confused about step 3 in your framework or about their life. They don't know if they're doing it right. And they're also not sure what comes next. And that's where the momentum dies, the customer churns and leaves. But now we mentioned this. If the moment they got stuck, they had a coach available who knew your exact framework, understood their situation, and could walk them through the next step immediately without any waiting. And not just a generic ChatGPT answer that sounds helpful but isn't customized, rather a response based on your methodology, tailored to their situation, available instantly. And also not like you spending 5 minutes dropping a quick message, but literally walking one-on-one with that customer through their pain until they're back on the road. And that's what UAI does. It's not a chatbot that waits for questions. It's a client coach that works through flows. Instead of just answering random questions, it guides customers from point A to point Z through your specific process. It will spit out a generic plan instantly. It looks helpful, but it's not customized for you. A real coach that you would pay $5,000 a month wouldn't do that. They would ask questions. For example, how fit are you right now? When's the last time you trained consistently? What are your actual goals? Why has training been hard for you before? Do you have any injuries I should know about? And only after understanding your situation would they build a plan designed specifically for you, not for everyone. And that's the difference. UAI does this at scale. It asks the right questions, it understands each customer's context based on their answers, and then guides them through your framework in a way that's personalized to their situation. This fixes retention because customers don't get lost, they don't fall behind, they don't churn because they're confused, they finish what they started, they're served one-to-one because they have guidance every step of the way. And that makes step 3 really powerful for your entire business model. Step 3 is building that AI-powered delivery into your offer itself. Instead of selling a course for $2,000 and hoping people finish it, you're selling a course plus a 24/7 AI coach for $2,000. That one change makes your offer 10 times more valuable for them. Your conversions go up because prospects aren't thinking, will I have time for this? They are thinking, I have a personal coach included that actually works for my situation. And your retention goes up because customers actually succeed instead of getting lost and churning quietly. Your testimonials and referrals multiply because happy customers who succeeded tell everyone, and those referrals come in pre-sold on your offer. Your lifetime value goes up because when someone succeeds with your first product, they buy your next one without hesitation. And this is what Hormozi did with his gym offers. He didn't just sell access to a gym, he sold a complete system with coaching. Then that's why his retention destroyed traditional gyms, and he could sell at much higher price points. So once you understand that retention beats acquisition, especially for a 7-figure business, you stop optimizing for making the sale and you stop optimizing for the outcome your customers. Instead of 100 customers in and 95 customers out every month, you go to 100 customers in and 10 customers out every month. So now you're adding 90 net new customers every month instead of 5. And those 90 customers aren't just staying, they're buying more from you over time as they succeed and want the next level, and they also refer you more. And that's how you grow from 7 figures to 8 figures to 9 figures without needing to 10x your ad spend or 10x your team. You just keep customers instead of replacing them. If I could sit down with myself 5 years ago when we were stuck at 7 figures, barely profitable, working 80-hour weeks, spending millions trying to scale, I wouldn't tell him to hire more salespeople or increase the ad budget, find a new sneaky funnel, or split test more headlines. I would tell him to stop optimizing for acquisition and start optimizing for retention. Build something that gets customers real results where they actually succeed. Then figure out how to scale that delivery with AI so you're not trading time for money forever. Then package that into your offer so it improves both conversion and retention at the same time. That's what actually got us to 8 figures, not the 25 million in ad spend, not the funnels or the sales teams. It was fixing retention so the business could compound like a staircase going up instead of a bucket with a hole in the bottom. Is how you do that at scale without hiring 20 coaches and destroying your margins. Whether you use our tool or you build your own system, remember, customers who stay are making your business insanely valuable. Optimize for that And scaling, trading money, stops making your life worse and just makes your business grow. If you like this video, check this one out where I talk about how to scale to 8 figures profitably with AI-powered engines. See you in the next video.